In 1993, a psychologist sat a 14-year-old boy down and told him a story. A story about the day he got lost in a shopping mall as a child. 2 weeks later, the boy remembered it perfectly. The blue shirt he wore, the old man who found him crying by the fountain. There's only one problem. It never happened. The psychologist's name was Elizabeth Loftus, and what she'd just proven would change how you trust every memory you own. You've always been told memory works like a recording. Press play, and the past appears exactly as it was. But that's not what your brain does. Every time you remember something, you're not playing a file back, you're rewriting it. Which means the last time you remembered your favorite childhood summer, you weren't recalling it. You were changing it, quietly, without asking. Here's the part neuroscience only confirmed 20 years ago. In 2000, a researcher named Kareem Nader ran an experiment on fear. He conditioned rats to freeze at the sound of a tone. Then, he let them remember it. And in that exact moment, he blocked the protein that locks memories in place. The fear vanished. Permanently. The memory hadn't just been recalled, it had been reopened, edited, filed away again as something new. Scientists call this reconsolidation. Every memory you retrieve goes soft again for a few fragile hours. Then it locks back down, slightly different than before. Not corrupted, rewritten.
But that was only the surface. But it's not only fear that reconsolidation touches. The morning after the Challenger space shuttle disaster in 1986, two researchers started asking students one question. Where were you? What were you doing? How did you find out? They wrote every answer down. 2.5 years later, they asked the same students again. The details had changed. Who told them, what room they were in, what was on the screen. Some students now swore they'd heard it from a roommate who in 1986 hadn't even moved in yet. And here's the unsettling part. Their confidence never dropped. People were just as certain about the new memory as they'd been about the first one. Researchers named this a flashbulb memory, a memory that feels burned in, permanent, unshakable. And it is exactly as unreliable as every other memory you own. Certainty was never proof. It's just a feeling your brain is very good at manufacturing. So if you can't fully trust the memory you're most sure of, what does that mean for the ones you've never even thought to question? In 1997, researchers tracked a group of vacationers. During the trip, they logged every frustration in real time. Delayed flights, bad weather, arguments over directions. Weeks later, they asked the same people to remember the trip. The complaints were gone. Almost nobody mentioned them. The bad memories hadn't just faded, they'd faded faster than the good ones, on purpose. Psychologists named it the fading affect bias. Negative emotion decays quickly. Positive emotion lingers.
Your brain isn't storing your past, it's curating it. And here's the darker layer underneath all of this. That editing isn't random. It's aimed at one target, you feeling okay about who you are. Psychologists call it the self-serving memory bias. Given a choice between an accurate memory and a flattering one, your brain reliably picks flattering. You didn't lose the argument. You remember making your point. You weren't the one who was cruel. You remember being honest. Every version of your past has already been quietly negotiated, so the person living with it can keep going. And somebody, somewhere, noticed this vulnerability long before you did. In 2015, a product team at Facebook launched a feature called On This Day. It resurfaced your old photos, your old posts, without you asking. Internally, engagement spiked every time it ran. Not because the memories were accurate, because they'd already been softened by your own brain before you ever saw them again.
Spotify built a feature around it. Streaming platforms rebuilt entire shows around it. Nostalgia marketing is now a business worth billions of dollars a year, built on a bias nobody consented to. They didn't invent the softening. They just learned to profit from it. Picture the lab at New York University, a small room lined with steel cages. Nader plays the tone. The rats freeze, exactly as trained. He injects the blocker into a single, targeted region of the brain. Plays the tone again. This time, nothing. No fear, no freeze. Just a rat sniffing at a sound that used to mean danger, and now means nothing at all. Somewhere in a filing cabinet of your own memories, the same door has been quietly opened and closed 1,000 times. So if a memory of a shopping mall can be planted from nothing, and a memory of a real vacation can be softened without permission, what does that make your favorite memory? The one you'd swear happened exactly like that? The uncomfortable answer? It's already been rewritten, possibly more than once. None of this is a flaw. A brain that stored every painful detail at full intensity forever would be unbearable to live inside. So it built an editor, a quiet, constant, protective editor, just for you. It doesn't delete the bad days. It just refuses to let them outweigh the good ones. Which means that memory you keep returning to, the one that feels the most like home, was never a record of what actually happened. It's a record of what you needed to survive what happened. And your brain kept building it, one edit at a time, so you'd have somewhere warm to return to. So next time an old memory surfaces, and some detail feels a little too golden, a little too perfect, don't correct it. That warmth wasn't a mistake. It was written by someone who loved you enough to lie. You. Go on. Remember something good. This time, notice the editing and thank it.